this nomenclature. Now let us look at the types of airfoils with respect to the geometrical features. So with respect to the geometrical features, we have two types of airfoils which are called as symmetrical airfoil, cambered airfoil or non-symmetrical airfoils. As you can see from the figures here, okay. So the symmetrical airfoil, you know what is a symmetry, right? So if I draw a circle, so the circle is symmetrical about x-axis, the circle is symmetrical about y-axis, horizontal axis. That means the same upper and lower surfaces. So the chord line and the mean camber line. So what are the characteristics here? The main characteristics is I don't have a mean camber line. MCL is same as camber line. And the other characteristics is at alpha is equal to 0. This we will prove it also in the thin airfoil theory. If alpha equal to 0, the coefficient of lift produced by that kind of an airfoil is also equal to 0. The second one is just a shape. It is not a airfoil. It's a symmetry, just to show what is a symmetry. Next one is cambered airfoil or non-symmetrical airfoils. Here I am having the upper and lower surface is different. If I draw the chord line and I also have the mean camber line, it is dividing. So here this camber line, I have two types of cambered airfoils. One is positive camber and the other is negative camber. So as you can see, if the mean camber line is below the chord line, it is a negative camber airfoil. If the mean camber line is above, this is positive and this is negative. So positive camber and negative camber. So what is the advantage of having this? Now we will have this negative camber also. Ma'am, why negative camber? We will come to that. The advantage of this one is even when alpha is equal to 0 degrees, I am producing a positive lift. That means indirectly, in flight mechanics, you must have come across stalling. So stalling tends to be delayed, or you will have high CL max. Stalling delays for the cambered airfoils. Is it clear, guys? Yes. And the main disadvantage is they are producing the undesirable torque. Is this okay? Types of airfoil, symmetrical and cambered airfoils. Shall I go to the next one? The next one is laminar airfoils. See, laminar flow, we all know that it is associated with smooth flow of streamlines over a surface, right? We don't have any kind of disturbance. So laminar flow is associated with the smooth flow. And how do you want the airfoil, the flow over an object to be? If I want a proper lifting conditions and minimum drag, I want the flow to be smoothly leaving the airfoil, right? So your laminar flow airfoils, uninterrupted flow over the contour of the wings. So we are taking care of this. The main purpose of this design is to have a smooth flow over the parts. Next one is front of a streamlined body. So this, any body if you are having which is a streamlined body, we try to make it a laminar flow airfoil, or start with a laminar flow airfoil. The laminar flow theory, it deals with the symmetrical airfoil section. Basically, it is a symmetrical airfoil section. The next one is, so what is the design part? As you are moving towards the trailing edge, the design tends to widen. Okay, large thickness towards the trailing edge. We are just seeing that the flow over the airfoil is not tending to separate. So this is a laminar airfoil. And what is the main criteria? We see that the boundary layer is not separating. The boundary layer is adhered to the object or the airfoil. So this is your laminar flow airfoil. Is this clear, guys? Or any doubts? Laminar flow airfoils are mainly defined for allowing the smooth flow. The design aims thin at the leading edge, just like a flat plate, and as you are moving away from the leading edge towards the trailing edge, the design tends to widen. This is your laminar airfoil.